Friend! Oh, new friend! Oh, friend! Please be my friend! Oh, friend!
What's up, Cheap Shot Nation? You are watching Cheap Shot Entertainment and I am your host, Luke. We're going to take you through everything that happened at Super Showdown, which was held in Melbourne, Australia, at a Melbourne cricket ground on the 6th of the 10th, 2018. That's the 6th of October in old money. It took place here. It was actually at 10 AM in the morning, which is decent. We watched it live, which was great, without being tired. So, ha! To the US. Ha! Now you know what it feels like. Anyway, we're going to take you through everything that went off, and if you like the video and you want to see more, hit the subscribe button, click the notification bell, and leave the comment down below. You can also check us out on Twitter at Cheap Shot Entertainment, Facebook Cheap Shot Entertainment, and also on Instagram at Cheap Shot Entertainment. Who knew? Anyway, join us for the rest of the show. Your first match of the evening, or in our case the morning, was the SmackDown Tag Team Championships. It pitted the Bar, which is Sheamus and Cesaro, one of the best tag teams I think WWE has on their roster at this very point, against the New Day, another great tag team who of course defend their titles on the blue brand under what's called the Freebird rule, which means that any of the three members of the New Day can defend the tag team championships in a tag team match. So, like I say, New Day are your champions. Cesaro and Kofi start. Big E is on the outside for this one. Kofi gets the dives in early. It shows his high-flying skills. Gets the dives in early after sending Cesaro out of the ring. Gets caught by both Sheamus and Cesaro. At that point, Woods decides to come and try and make the save. He also gets caught, and the Bar hit a double team move. One of them's dribbled into the post, the other one follows very quickly, and Sheamus and Cesaro are now on top, showing their strength. The Bar are on top at this point. There's some quick tags from the Bar. They're eliminating pretty much everything in Kofi Kingston's arsenal. He is still the legal man. They beat him down for most of this match, and Kofi doesn't get a look in. Complete domination from the Bar all the way through this match. It is a very good tag match, good tag team psychology, lots of very near tags, and then dragging Kofi back with his feet for another tag. Eventually, Kofi does get the tag to Xavier Woods, who comes in on the hot tag. Woods on a roll, hitting the Bar with strikes and kicks and things like that, and getting on top. Eventually, the Bar get back on top of Woods, with Kofi Kingston not being able to make any kind of progress into saving Woods at this point in time. The Bar get back on top pretty quickly after the short flurry that Kofi and Xavier put together. Cesaro gets the sharpshooter on Woods at this point. Lovely looking sharpshooter. You can tell that's a homage to his former tag team partner, Tyson Kidd, also of fame from the Stu Hart Dungeon, last ever graduate from there. And the New Day then break that up, come back, hit a double team move, lots of tagging, lots of double team moves, and Xavier Woods picks up the win. Your winners, and still WWE SmackDown Tag Team Champions, are the New Day, with the Bar putting up a really good fight. Where did the Bar go from here? Brilliant tag team. I feel like they do need to pick up the titles at some point, but the New Day are absolutely the hottest tag team in the WWE at the moment, besides the Bar. And yeah, run with it. Let the New Day carry the titles for a bit longer. So your winners, the New Day. The second match of the night is another SmackDown Championship match. It features Becky Lynch, the current Women's SmackDown Champion, against Charlotte, who is the former SmackDown Women's Champion, of course winning that at SummerSlam, and Becky Lynch then winning over Charlotte and gaining the championship at Hell in a Cell in a fantastic match. The crowd are very much behind Lynch. It's like one of the very few and very rare times where the crowd's been completely behind the heel from the word go. Becky Lynch turned heel. Everyone hates Charlotte. I'm not sure why. Charlotte, I like Charlotte. She's fine. Feel like she'd be a better heel. I think they'd be a monster tag team as heels. But Becky Lynch plays the heel really, really well, and apparently she has impressed Vince McMahon enough to let her run with it. So we've now got Becky Lynch as the champion and Charlotte Flair doing all the chasing. So the crowd behind Lynch, like I said, Lynch getting the better of Charlotte in the early exchange, jumping her at the bell. Charlotte ducks a Becky Lynch clothesline and throws Lynch with a suplex. Charlotte on top at this point in the early exchange. Charlotte couldn't get going for most of this match, but she gets on top from the early exchange. Becky Lynch comes back in. Charlotte really struggled to get any offense in. Lynch is just beating her down all the way through this match. But Charlotte did get the first near fall, that being said. We then got a showdown between Charlotte and Lynch with what I've written down here as the Boo Yeah strikes. And Charlotte gets the spear, misses the moonsault, which has been the turning point of this match. With Charlotte missing the moonsault, Becky Lynch gets a little bit cocky at this point, a bit confident, goes for her own top rope leg drop, misses that. Charlotte then hits Becky with the Boston Crab. Again, Charlotte has all the right moves in terms of wrestling. She is very, very good at what she does. Charlotte hits a second spear, and this is where the end is coming for Becky Lynch. Second spear, gets the figure eight, manages to get the figure eight on after Becky Lynch tries to hit Charlotte, or tries to roll out of the ring and walk off with the championship. The championship is then in the ring after Charlotte brings her back down from the entrance ramp. Classic heel move there. The belt is in the ring. Charlotte hits the figure eight on Lynch. Looks like she's going to tap out. She reaches just that little bit further, manages to get the belt, hits Charlotte with the belt and gets disqualified. Charlotte wins the match. Becky Lynch keeps the title. That is classic heel from WWE. I love it. I love Becky Lynch. I love Charlotte. Just hoping that at some point they will team together as a heel tag team. I think that would be fantastic. Maybe even against Bayley and Sasha Banks in a 4 horsewomen winner take all kind of thing. I don't know. But your winner is Charlotte via disqualification. Becky Lynch is still your Women's SmackDown champion. So after the match, Charlotte gets a bit angry, tries to jump Becky Lynch as she's walking away with the championship, takes her to the barricade, tries to throw her into it. Becky Lynch reverses it, starts beating down Charlotte again on the floor, gets Charlotte into the Bexploder suplex, and she does that into the barricade. Sick looking move, especially from the ladies who for so long have been tarred with the brush of being sort of divas, supermodels, that kind of thing. It's lovely to see the ladies getting the airtime that they deserve. This was a fantastic match, and quite often the women's matches are a lot better than the men's matches, and this match proved that. But then you've got Becky Lynch and Charlotte, so it's going to be a fantastic match anyway. But Becky Lynch, after hitting the Bexploder on Charlotte and leaving her in a heap on the floor, walks away with the championship and is still your women's champion. And your next segment of the evening started with the lights, house lights down, and then coming back up and you've got Elias and Kevin Owens sat in the middle of the ring. Of course, Elias has his signature acoustic guitar with him, and he starts playing Thunderstruck by AC/DC, a fantastic acoustic version of Thunderstruck. Of course, AC/DC are Australian, pandering to the crowd there, and you know what's coming. Elias pandering to the crowd, Kevin Owens saying how much Australia sucks, and everyone then booing them. So at that point, he tries to start another song, and once again he gets interrupted by Bobby Lashley, one half of the Super Friends for the evening. Lashley comes down to the ring, introducing John Cena, or should I say John Wahlberg, fresh off his Transformers movie. I think they're trying to make him look like Mark Wahlberg here. We always had a laugh and said that John Cena was a bit like Marky Mark, but now he actually looks like Marky Mark. He looks like Mark Wahlberg. John Wahlberg, Mark Cena, I don't know. I couldn't tell. Obviously, John Cena is probably a little bit more muscly than Mark Wahlberg, but it was absolutely hilarious. John Cena with hair, check it out. It is hilarious. Anyway, not much to say about this match. Again, it was another good match of a good pay-per-view so far. I put down here that John Cena looks like Mark Wahlberg. Lashley starts in the ring and gets the upper hand. Cena doesn't come in for the whole match. Owens and Elias showing off their brilliant tag team relationship in this match. Owens hits a fantastic looking frog splash. Elias hits a couple of moves as well. Lashley's looking down and out, gets the hot tag to Cena, and Cena called it. He does the 5 moves of doom, but wait, there's another one. He does 6 moves of doom. That's 6 moves of doom. 6. I don't even know what the last move was. I don't even know what it was called, but basically it was a backhand fist. Elias goes down, John Cena wins, picks up the win, and Lashley did all the work. But that's what you'd expect from John Cena. He then cuts a promo saying that he's not going to forget where he's come from, so I think that probably means that he's going to stay for a little while before he goes off and does his next movie, which is cool, because I'm starting to like John Cena. I've got one of his old school t-shirts. You've probably seen it on the channel. Fits really well and it's quite nice. So yeah, your winners, Lashley and John Cena, Super Friends. And your next match of the evening is a women's tag team match featuring the first set of Australian competitors signed to WWE, the Iconics, which is Billie Kay and Peyton Royce. Not really done much since they've been called up from NXT, but tonight was the night that they would change all of that with a massive win. But we'll get onto that in a little while. We'll introduce the second team, Asuka and Naomi. Again, another wrestler. What was it, 192-0 for Asuka, probably even more. When she was on NXT, she comes up to the main roster, she loses to Charlotte Flair, and since then she's had very few wins. She's lost her mystique. They need to repackage, they need to redesign, they need to probably send her back to Raw and get that win streak back on, because at the moment she's not doing anything, and it's really, really sad. They do have 2 obviously very good wrestlers in Lynch and Charlotte facing each other for the title, but I think Asuka does need to be injected into that, and she does need to pick up that title at some point and get that win streak going back again. But not much to say about this. Of course, the Iconics being from Australia pretty much guarantees them the win, because they want to win over the Australian crowd. The Iconics stay on top for most of this match. Asuka is tagged in, and Asuka and Naomi go for a double ass attack. I've got it down here as, don't know what the actual name of that move is, but the Iconics in the corner, and then they run and hit them with their asses. Iconics get back on top. Naomi hits a split leg moonsault again, looking absolutely fantastic. There's fighting on the outside on this one, probably again to get the Australian crowd into it, with the Iconics being on the outside. Billie Kay then trips Naomi up and gets the pin. Didn't really see the end of this one, being as I watched it live anyway. Blinking you'll miss it, but as far as I understood, it was a trip and Naomi went down and there was a pin, and that was it. Got to say, the Iconics look really good here, but I'd say the weakest match on the card so far. Not a bad match by any means, but definitely the weakest and the shortest. And I think putting them against Asuka and Naomi put them back quite a while, quite a bit in terms of going for the championship. Now, obviously the Iconics could be in line for the women's tag team championships when they bring them in. There is heavily rumoured that it will be defended on all shows. So yeah, they've got the Iconics probably in one of the top spots for that title, whereas Asuka and Naomi should be in the women's title picture. Certainly Asuka should, and I feel like Naomi should have been tagging with someone else other than Asuka. Like I said earlier, it puts her back tremendously in this match because she's had another loss, and I hate that. I can't stand the fact that Asuka is losing and they're painting it to be a bit of a goof, to be honest. She's not, the character they made for her in NXT was absolutely spot on. No idea why they didn't carry that on, but there you go. Your winners, the Iconics, Hometown Girls in Australia, plus Peyton Royce is hot. And your next match is yet another SmackDown match for the WWE Championship. It is no disqualification, no count out. It's Samoa Joe going for the championship once again against AJ Styles, who is the champion. There was some controversy at Hell in a Cell with AJ pinning Joe's shoulders to the match and referee counting, but AJ also tapping out just before the 3 count, and obviously then Paige here had to then make the match for Super Showdown, and got to say, best match of the night so far. Absolutely brilliant. It's everything that the Hell in a Cell match should have been, yeah, this showdown straight from the off. Joe's already in the ring. AJ's starting to walk down. Joe gets out of the ring. AJ starts taking off his ring gear, his entrance gear, not his ring gear, because that, it's a family show, PG, and they stare each other down. AJ then runs at Joe, starts getting the beat down on him outside the ring. Fighting outside the ring happens for a couple of minutes, and then finally they get in the ring. The bell rings. The match officially starts at this point. AJ has got the advantage after using the announce table to gain that advantage. Throws some kicks onto Joe, and at this point Joe's reeling, probably trying to get an early win. It's not going to happen with Joe. Joe comes back with a sick, vicious looking chop. You could hear it all the way through the arena. I'd love to have had 5.1 surround sound or 7.1 surround sound or whatever it is now, just to hear that echo around me, because that was brilliant. Joe then flies and hits AJ into the barricade. AJ looking down and out at this point. Joe very much on top at this point. Hits, it's an actual absolute tank in this match. Joe, he's just hitting AJ with everything he's got. And my mate Woody, who you've seen on the channel as well, says that he's been watching some old AJ and Joe matches from TNA, and he says they're absolutely fantastic. So I'm going to go and check some of those out. I've seen a few of them, but I'm definitely going to go and check some of those out. But like I say, these two have got history. It's a given that they should have a decent match. Shame the last two haven't been, but this match more than makes up for it. Both using the full extent of the no count out rule at this point, but apart from the use of the announce table and trying to get that sort of set up nice and early, there's been no use of the no DQ as of yet. But that is set to change with the introduction of a table and a chair. No ladders, but a table and a chair. AJ manages to get on top after Joe sets up a table. Misses whatever move he was going to try and do. Joe gets out of the way, and Joe picks up a chair. He then hits AJ with that. AJ manages to come back, gets the chair, hits Joe with that. Joe is looking battered, bruised. AJ's bleeding from the mouth again, and AJ then sets up the chair in the corner, trying to do some kind of move to Joe. AJ then tries to hit Joe in the corner. Joe counters it into a Uranagi through the chair. Absolutely sickening move, and AJ breaks the chair through. The tables get the biggest pop of the night, but that's tables, like, yeah, tables, and Joe and AJ both go through the table at this point. Joe was up on the top rope. AJ tried to sort of electric chair drop him, kind of gave out underneath Joe's weight and went through sideways. AJ took most of the table, but in the process forgot to let go of Joe's leg. Joe said he heard something pop. I've still got to check up on that, see if he is actually injured or not, but it did look sick. And from this point on, AJ gets the better of Joe as we go on. AJ is relentless at this point, taking out the knee. The referee trying to stop AJ from going in on him, but it is no DQ, can't stop it, so AJ goes straight on top. Good ring psychology at this point. AJ tries to get the calf crusher in on Joe, knowing that the knee is injured. Joe then counters that beautifully into the Coquina clutch on the floor. AJ rolls to the outside at this point after getting out of that. I think he reaches for the ropes. He rolls to the outside, tries to get his breath. AJ at this point gets back on top, hits the springboard phenomenal forearm, which is then countered again into a Coquina clutch, and that is reversed again into a calf crusher, and AJ gets the win. Finally, a clean win for AJ after months and months of being screwy finishers for his title defences. He's finally won absolutely clean with the calf crusher. AJ is your winner. Absolutely phenomenal match. Joe definitely deserves more attention on SmackDown, but as Woody said, they're not going to take the belt off AJ because he is the cover star for 2K19. But Joe, I think he is going to pick up the belt at some point. Title. Sorry, Vince. Title. At some point during the next couple of pay-per-views, and I think probably going to be before the end of the year, maybe even at Survivor Series. There's going to be some kind of stipulation there, and perhaps Joe will pick it up at Survivor Series. But your winner and still WWE Champion at the point of recording this is AJ Styles. The next match is kind of a crossover match. It's a 6-woman tag team match. It is the Riot Squad, which is Liv Morgan, Ruby Riott, and forgotten the last person. I've written it down. Oh yeah, very good. The next match is the 6-woman tag team match, which features the Riot Squad, so Ruby Riott, Liv Morgan, and Sarah Logan versus Ronda Rousey and the Bella Twins. Of course, the previous week on Raw, Liv Morgan got knocked out by Brie Bella. People have been giving her a lot of hate for that, but as Woody pointed out, it is about timing, and things do happen in the ring, and that's why they have the parental advice thing. Don't try this at home thing. You know, it is what it says on the tin. It is a dangerous thing to do. It's a dangerous form of entertainment, and you have to be very careful, and things do go wrong. So there's some history between Liv Morgan and Brie Bella in this one, and that does come throughout the match. So, and obviously Rousey is your women's champion, so no defence of her championship on this show. Nikki and Ruby Riott do start out this match. Riott gets on top very, very quickly. Nikki then comes back, gets the tag to Brie. Riott hits the flatliner on Brie. Liv gets in after the tag. The Bellas hit a double suplex on Liv Morgan. Sarah Logan comes in after the tag and continues the attack on a downed Nikki Bella after the attack from the Riott squad. Morgan comes back in, gets the tag. There's just everything going off here. Gets back in. And after all of this, they finally get the tag to Ronda Rousey. Of course, she is going to be the female version of John Warburg. She gets in, she clears the ring completely, cleans house, hits the double armbar on Morgan and Sarah Logan for the submission win. Double submission by Ronda Rousey. Looked like an absolute house in this match compared to the other competitors, but yeah, decent if short match, but at least the ladies got the rub of the green for the SmackDown Championship match. But yeah, Ronda Rousey looking absolutely strong on this one, moving forward to Evolution, where she will face a mystery opponent, as it was revealed. That takes place on the 28th of October, and it will be on a Sunday again, so I may have to stay up for that one. But we'll see how it goes. But your winners are the Bella Twins and Ronda Rousey, your Raw Women's Champion. And the next match is kind of the sleeper hit of the card for me when I watched this, because I don't watch 205 Live anymore. I got a bit bored of it, as it was getting boring. You know, they got cruiserweights that weren't allowed to fly. Triple H has taken over the 205 Live production, and it is getting a lot better. Did watch a show a couple of weeks ago. I was entertained by it. I've not dabbled back into it. Got too much on. So yeah, the cruiserweights are coming back, and they're coming back big style. I really enjoyed this match, to the point where, like I say, I think it's the sleeper hit of the night. People weren't expecting this to be any good. People never expect this to be any good. It used to be that the ladies were the piss break match, and then it became the cruiserweights more recently. But now you've got no chance. Got no chance to go for a piss break, and that is good or bad, whichever way you think about it. But it is brilliant that the cruiserweights are now allowed to be cruiserweights, and it showed in this match. So you've got Cedric Alexander, who is your current champion. He's been champion since WrestleMania. And you've then got Buddy Murphy, who used to be in a tag team on NXT, a couple of time tag team champion, used to hang around with Alexa Bliss. Buddy Murphy is now on 205 Live, of course, Australian born, he's from Melbourne, so he's a hometown boy. And again, you can pretty much predict that this one was going to go to the Australian lad. But I didn't predict how well it went to the Australian lad. Murphy is brilliant in this match. Cedric Alexander shows what he can do as well, but Buddy Murphy is really good. I'm so glad they've given him a championship match for this one. Buddy Murphy, he does get the upper hand with a high-flying start. Alexander does eventually get back in to this match and hits a top rope sort of driver type thing. He then follows it by a springboard kick onto Buddy. Buddy hits a powerbomb, showing his strength as well as his high-flying ability. And Cedric gets back in with some high-flying moves of his own. Again, Cedric Alexander, you can expect high-flying moves. Buddy Murphy, perhaps not so much. but because we've seen high flying moves from both guys. He hits high flying moves, he hits the lumbar check. This is Alexander on Buddy Murphy. Cedric tries to fly one too many times, and Buddy Murphy hits a pump handle driver after thwarting the efforts of Cedric Alexander for the win. Your new cruiserweight champion is Buddy Murphy, moving forward onto 205 Live. Great match, and going forward, a great champion. It was about time that Cedric Alexander did drop that title. Of course, there's going to be a rubber match with Alexander and going for the title again. Buddy Murphy's already had championship matches and failed. Now is his time to shine. He's won it in Melbourne, Australia. He's won it in his hometown, and very richly deserved it was too. Fantastic match, sleeper hit of the night. If you watch one match that's going to surprise you in this on this Super Showdown card, watch the cruiserweights. It was brilliant, absolute double thumbs up, and excellent, great work WWE with the cruiserweights. And the next match on the card featured a 6-man tag match. It was Braun Strowman and Drew McIntyre and Dolph Ziggler, who are the Raw Tag Team Champions. I don't see why Braun Strowman needs tag team partners, why he needs a little group. Braun Strowman is Braun Strowman for a reason, and that's because he can tip over trucks. He doesn't need side men, he doesn't need lackeys. It's not the kind of thing that he does. But I'm going to go with it because this was a great match as well. So far it's been a fantastic card. One of the better pay-per-views that I've seen for a long time. And they're going against The Shield. Of course, Roman Reigns is the WWE Universal Champion. You've got the Intercontinental Champion as well in Seth Rollins. The only person who doesn't have a championship in The Shield is Dean Ambrose, and they've been teasing that dissension, that breakup, since they got back together, basically, with Dean Ambrose the only one that's not having a championship match. But yeah, Raw hasn't had a lot of championship matches. In fact, I don't think Raw had any championship matches thinking back at it, because the women's champion was in the 6-woman tag match, and then the rest of your champions are in this match. So there was no championships being defended from the Raw side. I didn't think about that at the time, but there you go. That's the revelation that we have. Only championships defended were from SmackDown, and all of the championships were defended actually, apart from the US Championship, which I haven't seen Nakamura for a couple of months and a couple of pay-per-views, so maybe it's time for him to get back in the ring. Anyway, we're going to go straight on to this one. It is Braun Strowman, the Strowman Squad, I'm going to call them, versus The Shield. The Shield comes out on top with the early exchange, showing the pack mentality, as Michael Cole calls it, to get the early advantage. The Shield go for an early Shield bomb on Braun Strowman, take him out of the picture through the announce table. That is broken up. Starts the match eventually starts with Rollins and Ziggler in the ring. There's a lot of isolation of Rollins in this match. He's been beaten down for a good 10 minutes by all three of the opposition guys, and the match eventually falls apart with Roman when Roman hits Ambrose with a Superman punch, missed Superman punch. Ambrose falls to the outside. Team Strowman gets back on top at this point, gets the upper hand. Dean finally comes round after the Strowman Squad gets back on the edge of the ring, and you've got Rollins and Roman in the middle of the ring. Dean Ambrose comes to the opposite side, so 4 guys, 1 on either side, with the Shield in the middle. Looks like Dean Ambrose is finally going to break, finally going to crack and turn on the Shield. He does not. He runs straight across the ring, hits the person on the opposite side, which I think was Dolph Ziggler, and you've then got the Shield back on top in this one. The Shield then take out McIntyre and Dolph Ziggler. McIntyre tries to break up at the Ambrose attack. Ambrose comes out hot on this one, hits the double arm DDT, the dirty deeds on Rollins, on Ziggler for the win, and the Shield win. Dean Ambrose picks up the win. Definitely not the weak link here, but Ziggler still teases that storyline where he is the weak link in the Strowman squad. So your winners on this in this match, again, brilliant match, lots of fighting on the outside, definitely one to watch. I've only got a few notes here, but basically that's what happened. And yeah, another match to watch. Your winners in this one in the 6-man tag are the Universal Champion Roman Reigns, the Intercontinental Champion Seth Rollins, and Dean Ambrose. Shield are the winners in this match. We're now going to move on to the penultimate match of the evening. It featured Daniel Bryan versus The Miz, and the stipulation would be that the winner would become the #1 contender for AJ Styles' WWE Championship. Now, in previous months, The Miz has picked up 2 wins over Daniel Bryan. Even though Maurice picked up one of those wins, it will go down as a loss for Daniel Bryan to The Miz and Maurice and Miz previous month as well. So that's the long and the short of it. Daniel Bryan has 0-2 against The Miz at the moment, and this match will be the culmination of the little bit of a rivalry that they've had going. It's only been 8 years, as WWE keep reminding us, since this rivalry started. But this match had all the potential in the world. I do wonder whether they're trying to right some wrongs with Daniel Bryan, with him not signing a new contract for WWE. One of the big reasons that they allowed him to come back to the ring is because he wasn't going to sign a new contract. He's still not signed that new contract, and I get the feeling they're trying to right some wrongs, especially with this match. Not much to say about this match. It was over very quickly with a roll-up. Daniel Bryan starts on the back foot against The Miz in this one. He comes back into it with his usual high-flying, fast-paced, sort of hot 5 moves of doom-esque kind of stuff. Miz ducks the final move that Daniel Bryan tries to put in and hits a flying knee of his own before getting a near fall. Daniel Bryan kicks out and immediately gets the roll up on The Miz and gets the 1, 2, 3 for the pin, and that is the match. It was over in a blink of an eye. If you went to get a drink, get a cup of tea, whatever, however you do it in Australia, you would have missed this match. Daniel Bryan is the winner. He is your new #1 contender for the WWE Championship. I was really disappointed with this match, and yeah, there's not much more to say about it than that. You got The Miz and Daniel Bryan can both put on a fantastic match, and it's ended like this. However, I do think, and I was saying this to Woody as well, I do think that Daniel Bryan may be the person to take the championship off of AJ at some point. Maybe, you know, you've got the face dynamic, and there'd be a lot of respect there as well, which would then allow Miz to come into the championship picture, which he richly deserves. For the last 10 years he's been in WWE. He has worked his socks off to get to the point where he is now. He's worked so hard, and he does deserve a championship match. And we deserve, as fans, as the WWE Universe, we deserve the match that everyone wants and everyone knows that these two guys can put on between Daniel Bryan and The Miz. But your winner in this match is Daniel Bryan. We're going to move on to the main event. And we now move on to the main event of the evening. Last time ever, you're going to see The Undertaker go against Triple H. But in The Undertaker's corner we have the Mayor of Knoxville, Kane, And in Triple H's corner, of course, you've got HBK. Now, I've got to say, I'm very impressed with HBK's cowboy hat. It took at least 15 minutes to fall off the top of his head. I am so impressed with that cowboy hat, I might even buy one myself. But that was the MVP of this match, is Shawn Michaels' cowboy hat. But the match, as you can expect, was absolutely brilliant as well. Two great ring veterans. You wouldn't expect them to be putting on a match like they did, but the psychology behind it was fantastic, and it was really easy to watch. So good, this match. Again, one of the matches of the night, and very worthy of being the main event, even though I think I put the Shield as the main event. I have no idea why I did that. But yeah, it was always going to be the main event. It was the two guys that were on the poster. The Australian president, I think, wanted it as well. Likes the Attitude Era, and yeah, it was always going to be the main event. But slow start in this one, as you can expect. The Undertaker took his usual 3 hours to get to the ring. Triple H was probably bored by that point, and then slow start anyway for both of them. Trips gets the upper hand on Taker. Taker comes back with some strikes into the corner as he does. I've got to say, both guys looking absolutely phenomenal with how old they are. I think Undertaker's pushing 60 and Triple H is 50 odd. So yeah, both looking absolutely fantastic. Undertaker tries to go old school. It's reversed by Triple H, but he then does hit the snake eyes and the big boot to Triple H. Taker is on the outside. HBK now gets heavily involved after Taker goes after Triple H and throws the Undertaker into the post. At this point, obviously there's no DQ in this match. It was announced before the match there was no DQ, which I didn't mention before, but it is no DQ. So Triple H, Shawn Michaels and Kane can all get involved. Referee's still trying to break it up, which I don't quite get, because it's, like I say, it is no DQ. Triple H tries a pedigree on the outside, which is reversed by the Undertaker into a back body drop. And the tables have turned, literally, on Triple H at this point, because the announce table is the focus of the next set of moves. Taker tries to go to the announce table. HBK gets the distraction. The match spills again to the outside after some fighting in the ring. They then do something that we haven't seen for a long time. They go into the crowd and they start fighting around the crowd. These guys know how to put on a good match. They know the ring psychology it takes to get the fans involved. And if that means going and fighting out in the crowd, that means going and fighting out in the crowd. We haven't seen this for a very long time. Even in hardcore matches, they don't do this anymore. And I absolutely loved most things about this show, and this is one of them. Undertaker gets a boot to Triple H's face. Triple H set upon the table that was brought out earlier. Kane tries to get involved at this point. We didn't see a lot of Kane. Saw a lot of HBK, not a lot of Kane. Triple H then tries a top rope chair shot, which is countered by the Undertaker into a choke slam, which he couldn't even really get him up and choke slam him. Undertaker then hits a tombstone and gets the near fall, the first near fall of the match. Taker then gets the chair, can't put Triple H away, then gets the chair, and the straps are down for the Undertaker. You know, when the straps are down, business has just picked up. HBK again gets the distraction. Triple H hits a double A spine buster. The pedigree is then hit, and Undertaker kicks out again. Triple H hits a top rope chair strike, this time on Taker's neck. With the Undertaker trying this a little bit earlier, HBK pleaded with him not to do it, and by the time HBK had his ass beaten, which is when his hat fell off, Triple H managed to get out of it and did the same to the Undertaker. So a bit of, again, ring psychology there. Who is the heel? Who is the face? Don't think this. I think these two blur that line anyway. HBK HBK's hat finally comes off the top of his head, and he's bald. I've heard people talking about it, but HBK is bald. However, I can't agree with what some of the comments on Facebook have been with HBK looking unwell. He doesn't look unwell, he's just got a bald head. There's nothing wrong with that at all. He was going bald anyway, might as well just shave the lot off, like Triple H has done. And it works for Triple H, to be honest. Triple H's look is decent. Triple H and HBK at this point here, lots of double T moves, very DX style, and Triple H finally then gets the pedigree and the win for the for the last time. And we'll see these two in the ring until the next time we see them in the ring, which I believe might be. There's rumours that there might be a Brothers of Destruction versus DX match at Crown Jewel, which is taking place in Saudi Arabia in November. I think it's November the 2nd, something like that. And that's your lot. So yeah, great match, great old school psychology. The no DQ rule really added to the heightened sense of drama in this match as well. But HBK and Triple H, well, Triple H with HBK, then hug it out in the ring. You can see Shawn Michaels mouthing, "Finally, we got him." After 4 attempts at WrestleMania, Undertaker coming out on top on all 4 of them, from WrestleMania 25 to WrestleMania 28. And you can see that. Triple H then goes to a downed Undertaker, offers him a hand to get him back up, gives him a hug and stuff like that, showing a bit of weakness there, Triple H. Not with the Undertaker, because the Undertaker then comes back, clocks Triple H, gives him a tombstone. Kane takes out HBK and rolls him to the outside, and Undertaker and Kane stand tall, even though the Undertaker has finally lost to Triple H, which he hasn't done in a major pay-per-view for a long time actually. So especially his WrestleMania ones, because he was 5-0, or at least 3-0 at WrestleMania with Triple H, and 5-0 with DX in singles competition. Now, like I say, at that point, the Brothers of Destruction walk off, but we didn't get a hand. What happened? What about the hand? At least, hit the fire at that point as well. You managed to get pyro at the beginning of the show. Why not hit it there as well? But yeah, DX are left in a heap outside the ring, and the Brothers of Destruction walk out tall. So, like I said, that leads us possibly to a tag team match at Crown Jewel in Saudi Arabia. And so that is your review and your run through of everything that happened at Super Showdown in Melbourne, Australia. The Melbourne Cricket Ground took place on the 6th of October. Fantastic pay-per-view, one of the best I've seen this year. If you've got the network, go and check that out. Incidentally, there's a Hope Wrestling show this weekend. It is Grand Theft Autumn Blue. It's not Blue. Blue was last week. Grand Theft Autumn Red this week on the 12th of October. I will be there at this one. So it's Grand Theft Autumn Red this weekend, and you can see the graphic up behind me. Speaking of graphics, you can go to Instagram and Twitter and Facebook and follow us on there at Cheap Shot Entertainment. And if you like this video, hit the subscribe button, click the notification bell to hear everything and see everything that we upload. And that's it. Super Showdown, really good pay-per-view. I'd go and watch it if I was you. I've been your host Luke. You've been watching Cheap Shot Entertainment, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.